On Saturday, October 12th, the Burlington Town Common will be home to a scene much like this one. Or at least that is the hope of the organizers behind the upcoming Walk and Roll to Cure Ataxia event that morning. I went down to the Common to meet with Doug Place and Donna Gorzela, two people who suffer from the rare neurological disease, to learn more about the Walk and Roll, why it's important for people to attend the event, and, to start, what exactly is ataxia, a disease that affects roughly 1 in 50,000 people and is mostly unknown by others.
Ataxia is a neurological disease that affects a portion of the brain that controls your muscle movements, so you don't walk or talk very well, and it's a progressive disease. So it moves slowly, but the rate of progression varies from one person to another.
In Doug's case, he was impacted later in life when he was diagnosed 7 years ago. There are many forms of ataxia, and while there is no cure, only therapies to address symptoms, there is research underway working on it. However, for those affected, like Doug, the disease has a big impact on their lives. He had to sell his well-known and much-beloved small business in Burlington after his diagnosis.
Myself and my wife Deb, we had a business in Burlington for about 30 years, a little over 30 years actually, called the printing place. After my 30 years, I was about 58 when I was diagnosed, so it was kind of like kicking the pants to sell my business and do other things.
One of those other things he undertook, along with some fellow ataxia sufferers, was to work to raise awareness of the disease, an important step in dispelling some of the misperceptions people have about those with ataxia.
So that's really the point of our walk and roll on the 12th, is although there will be a few people affected by the disease, the real goal is to raise the awareness of the community in Burlington, to tell them about this and, educate the community.
Well, I think it's just a matter of telling people that it's out there, because a lot of people have no idea. If you say you have what, they've never heard of it. I had never heard of it when I was diagnosed. I'd say the biggest thing is that people understand what you're going through, because a lot of people just assume that someone with ataxia symptoms is drunk. And I want people to realize, no, there are other things out there. You're not just drunk.
And while the Walk and Roll has an important mission, it is also meant to be a fun event that brings the community together. The first 100 people will receive free t-shirts, and there will be free pizza and fun activities for people of all ages on the town common.
I would like people to know that this is basically a fun event. The walk itself is really more ceremonial. We don't ask a lot of people. It's more just an excuse to get together and learn a little about the disease.
It's just being around a bunch of people that know what they're looking at. And they know it's not a bunch of people that are drunk. So they, basically, you don't have to feel like I've got to ask to have more room, because people know.
The Walk and Roll to Cure Ataxia will be held on Saturday, October 12th on the town common. Registration begins at 9 a.m. and the walk starts at 10 a.m. The event is free and open to everyone. From the Burlington Town Common, I'm B News Director Rich Hosford.